According to the charges by the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, Higher Education Minister William Ruto allegedly received 96 million shillings from the Kenya Pipeline Company after claiming he was in a position to sell 1.745 hectares of land in Ngong forest that belonged to the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources 9 years ago. And Ruto had moved to the High Court seeking to stop the criminal charges on several grounds, and these included that the charges were discriminatory and were meant to finish him politically, since out of the 16 government departments involved in the transaction, other officials had not been charged. He argued offices such as the Chief Lands Registrar, the Director of Survey, Chief Valuer, the Director of Physical Planning and the City Council should also have been charged in relation to the alleged fraud. The Eldoret North MP also wanted the High Court to determine whether a commercial transaction involving public land and for which titles were issued with the approval of a head of state could amount to criminal act. But the three-judge bench declined to stop the corruption charges against the minister and ruled that the case at the magistrate's court must proceed. Judges Jean Gasheshe, Roslyn Wendo and Lonan Jagi instead told Ruto to address any concerns to the trial court. According to the new constitution, any public officer who faces criminal charges, corruption or abuse of office shall be dismissed or otherwise removed from office, pending the determination of the case. In the run-up to the constitution referendum, President Mwai Kibaki suspended Assistant Minister for Roads, Dr. Wilfred Machage, after he was charged with hate speech.
In 2010.
Just last week, Prime Minister Raila Odinga and Gishogo MP Martha Karua clashed in Parliament over the integrity of some of the public office holders, with Karua claiming some of the cabinet ministers in the Grand Coalition government were facing fraud charges and that they should be kicked out of the cabinet as per the new constitution.
But for ministers, Chapter 6, as read, with the anti-corruption and economic crimes, Mr. Prime Minister, what are those characters doing in cabinet?
I'm not aware, Mr. Speaker, of the persons that she's referring to who are in government. But she's refusing the Speaker to mention those persons and the case numbers.
Is it that you are not aware that the Minister for Higher Education is facing charges, criminal charges, of an economic crimes nature in court?
Immediately after the ruling, Ruto's lawyer Katwa Kigen indicated that his client would appeal. The Higher Education Minister has been away in Japan on official duty and is expected back home this weekend. Thairu, Citizen Weekend, Nairobi.